live. We're talking about the fallacy of vanity numbers in online marketing. And Paul,
If I Cohen, what the hell is this graphic you made?
isn't that a great giant? Both of us are looking at the fallacy of vanity numbers.
No, if I that looks like I'm looking at your butt and you're looking back over your shoulder going, "Stop looking at my butt."
And
That's
look
what
what
that looks
happened.
like.
Look what happened.
You made me
Again,
look
because
like a creeper.
no, you don't. Okay, guys, if you think that he's looking like a creeper, let me know because I don't
Seriously,
think so.
somebody have my back with this.
So let's.
I'm totally it's
You
like
are
I'm
not
grinning
here.
and
What? You
leering at your
again?
butt. Oh my god,
Again, you're not
Fox.
here. Hold on a second. I don't know why you did not join me in here. There we go. Ta-da! Here you are.
You gotta
So,
be kidding.
but this is the closest we ever get to look at each other's butts. So maybe, because we're doing this all
Not
virtual.
helpful. Not helpful.
You know, we don't know. So yesterday we talked about a dating app. Today we're talking about virtually checking each other out. Look at all the
Right?
things you can do online. It's
This is the
amazing.
Jeez
Amazing.
Louise.
So today we are talking about the fallacy of vanity numbers in Carpy says on Facebook that you're a creeper.
See, and that's my friend. I'm telling you, these are my friends. Well, my own friends are going to be more hard on me, but still,
But still, I think it's a good picture. And if you guys, at least it makes you look and kind of wonder and it makes you read and
it
brings
makes
you
you
on.
sure. Was that something we want to wonder about? I wonder why Paul Ramsey does that. No.
I think you're hypnotizing me from behind. I think that's the idea behind the
Hey,
whole thing.
so wait, though. First of all, because we have a pretty diverse audience, I think still, let's not even assume, tell people what vanity numbers means.
Yes, thank you. So, vanity numbers are all the big numbers that everybody is telling you to look at. How many views you get, how many impressions you get, how many likes you get, all this stuff that you can't use to actually pay your rent, things that don't matter. There was a lady, I always bring up this example. There's an influencer on Instagram, 2.6 million followers, could not sell 32 shirts. So the vanity numbers will be, yeah, I have 2.6 million followers. The reality is, less than 32 people care about what she's saying and what she's doing and will actually give her money or support her. Because this was a supporting thing. She's like, hey, you said you're going to buy this and none of you is buying it because she didn't build. Yeah,
Wait,
she did.
wait, she actually made a post that.
Yeah, she did. And it was very, hurtful and heartfelt because she was like, what? I thought you all are my friends. And I went out and I created these shirts and I made these agreements with people. And then none of you is supporting me. And she was very sad. So,
Butthurt was what she was. That's that's like the urban dictionary internet slang, right? You get butthurt when things don't go your way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is the big thing that one of the reasons I love talking with you since all the way back is that we've always been willing to talk about this thing that it seems like so few other people are willing to talk about, which is the utter bullshit of internet marketing sometimes.
Yeah, I call it like the smoke and mirrors, right? So a lot of people will go out and will say, "Hey, you gotta do ads and you gotta build funnels and I love Russell Brunson, but come on, you're only a funnel away from changing your life and becoming a multimillionaire and stuff like that." The reality behind all that stuff is that it's never that easy and you don't always need all these things. If you already have an audience, if you already have clients that are following you, you really don't have to have email marketing in place and all your social accounts in place and a fantastic website and a membership site and a funnel away and Facebook ads and Google ads and all that stuff to actually support your lifestyle. So the question starts from the beginning. What is the lifestyle that you would like to have? Right? How much do you need to make a year, a month in order to support your lifestyle? So if you start from there, then you can break it down and realize you don't need a lot of people. And it's actually not going to take a lot of work to get all these people in. So let's play this game, Paul. Like, just throw some numbers. Like, what is the lifestyle? How much do you need a month, a year?
How much do I need or how much do I want?
How much do you want?
That's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at my current lifestyle, I only need about 3 grand a month to live because I live pretty modestly because that's
Yeah.
part of just my value system. So I can live on, if I needed to, I could live on like a $36,000 a year take home, you know?
Okay.
But that's, again, we're talking, that's like I could live. My aspirations go beyond that. I want to travel and I want to have neat experiences right? So if I
Right.
go, what would I really like? I would like to probably take home, I would say easily twice that, right?
Right.
Like I would rather be around 6 or 7,000 a month so that I could really do the things I want to do.
Yeah. Okay, so fantastic. So let's say you need 10,000 a month because some of it goes to taxes. Yesterday I watched
Right?
that, right? I watched a video of a kid playing Monopoly and he started crying and the mom was like, "Why are you crying?" He's like, "All my money is in taxes." and she
We
and
can all
she
relate to, right?
totally, right? So 30%, 30% will go to taxes. So you really need, in order to be comfortable and enjoy your life and have some extra, you need $10,000, $11,000 a month, right?
Yeah, I would. Yes. Well, I think if I could realistically, if I could generate 10, like 10, I like nice even numbers really. So
Right.
if I could generate 10 a month, right, and then pay my taxes, I'd be fine. I could do everything I know I'm already doing, and there would be money left over to do more things that I aspire to do.
Right. Okay, so we need $10,000 a month. And guys, if you want to play this game with us and actually, take part and kind of figure out your numbers, you have two ways of doing this: comment or hop on in, and we can actually have a conversation in real time. So viralconnectivity.com/live, right below this video, you will see a button. Hop on in and have a conversation with us. So $10,000 a month. So how can we make $10,000 a month without membership sites, without a fantastic program, without funnels and emails and all that stuff, right? You are a hypnotist, right? So
I am.
people come to you not for more information; they come to you for access, right?
Um,
They want to
I
get
guess I never thought
hypnotized.
of it as access. I think of it as they come for me for service. That
Right.
I like to think of myself as a servant, and that I serve people. But I mean, they have to access me to do that. So okay,
Right? So
keep going.
people, yeah. So Kyle says hi. Hi, Kyle. Come on in. Hop on in. Um,
Hi, God.
Hi, Kyle. So they come to you for service and they need access to you, direct access to you. So how do you facilitate access right now or pre COVID-19? How do you facilitate access?
So primarily, I was one of those people that I like being able to work from home. And so I was on Zoom, 3 years ago. So I was using Zoom to meet with people and talk with people. I also did recognize that some people really wanted to have in-person live access with me. So I have a home office and people would come to my house occasionally. And then the third level of access, before all this happened, when I was really making most of my living as an entertainer, they were getting access to me by me coming to them, right, to do
Right.
shows. And that's why they were paying a premium for that. And so I was flying all over the country and delivering my service to them directly.
Right. So right now we can't fly and we can't meet in person. And so the next availability is Zoom calls, right? And in order to
Right.
get people on Zoom, what do you need to do?
Well, you've got to have that technological infrastructure for that, right? You've got to have a space in which you can hold your meetings, and you've got to have a computer that's reliable and a internet connection. I think that's the most important thing I keep trying to stress to people. Everyone keeps talking about Zoom this or Skype that, and I'm like, you guys, like, the software matters to some extent, but what matters most is your actual internet connection, right?
Right.
You can't have a good meeting with people if you're running some cheap internet rate where your upload sucks and you're getting chunky all the time and stuff like that. So I think there's considerations like that. What else am I not thinking of, if I?
No, you're right. Yeah. So internet connection, and Kyle is saying that your audio is great and you are a little choppy. Yeah, internet connection. We're talking internet connection.
I know it's always when I'm with you. I think there's some weird about how I have to connect with you. Now, I'm not blaming you for that, but I do live in the country and
Yeah.
I pay this again because this matters to me. I did the research and I speed test my connection, and I pay Comcast to give me a higher upload speed
What's your
than their
upload?
standard internet package. I have the highest upload speed that Comcast offers.
Do you know what
So
it
for
is?
me,
Do
not
you know
much
what it
else
is?
I can do.
Do you know what your upload speed is?
It hovers right around 11.
Wow. So
11, yeah.
yeah, mine is
What's
around
yours?
one.
You're in like Austin. You must have an awesome.
So last time I was boasting about my internet connection and I froze. I was in a Skype call and I froze, and I think it's about 170 upload and
Your
my
up
down.
is 170?
Yep, my up is
Holy
170. I know,
Nikes.
I know. So
You can't even
170.
get that here in New Hampshire. You can't get anywhere near that.
Yeah, well, it's fiber, right? So I'm paying for fiber. I'm paying
Yeah.
170 up and 370 down, and my ping is about 5 when I'm doing nothing. So, so you gotta. So one of the ways is like you really need to have. I know. My kid was like, "What?" Because he's playing video games at his dad's house, and they don't have fiber, and they're like, 5, her ping is 5, and I'm like, a 10-year-old already understands the value of a fast ping. Right? He's like, what? And she doesn't have a computer for me to play video games at? What? So we need internet connection, and we have Zoom, so it's a tool that we can connect with people. And then the next way is to just break it down backwards. So if we need $10,000 a month, then what's the easiest way to do that? Sell 10 programs for $1,000, right? So that's just gets you 10 people. You don't need thousands or millions or hundreds of thousands of people in order to get 10 people to pay you $1,000 a month, which is exactly what Roland was doing, right? So Roland went live with Jay Abraham and other people on a Zoom, gave them access, gave them value, and said, hey, if you want to continue getting access to me, the first month is on me, it's for free, and then the second month, it's $997, $1,000 a month, right? So if you're in, then just say, yes, I'm in, and I'll show you how to join. And the way that he joined, it's basically a Facebook group, and in the Facebook group, they share the link to a Zoom call, and that's it. Zoom, Facebook. We already talked about, like, you don't need to have Facebook. You can have Telegram if you want to own it and not risk your group going away. But that's it. 2 tools, right? Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm giving you value. Do you want more value? Keep on coming. We're going to continue the same exact format, Zoom and Telegram. So that's it. So 2 easy ways, right? So let's say 10 people paying you $1,000 or 20 people paying you $500. So if you do not have any program that you're selling right now, and you don't have any website that can take money right now, and you don't have anything like that, right? You can just put up a page with Wix, with WordPress.com, whatever, and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you want access to it, $500 a month, sign up here. You go to PayPal, and you're done. You get your $10,000 a month. Now, people are going to drop off, right? And then this needs to be kind of like an ongoing, so you always have to continue marketing. And one way to market is word of mouth, and tell to all the people that are there, hey, are you getting value? Fantastic. I would love to reward you with a discount next month. Send me 2 people, right? Or so you just work your audience, those that love you, know you, adore you, already getting value from you, and you use them to keep growing your service. And so you don't have to spend money on Facebook ads, keep doing all this marketing, drown in social media and content creation, all that stuff that people tell you that you have to do online in order to make a good income.
So wait, though, let's go back to your earlier example, and I want to go back, and I'm serious now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to be
Before you weren't
mean.
serious, right? Now you're serious.
Huh? Yeah, before I wasn't. Well, we were goofing around a little bit before, but
Yeah.
the example you gave of the woman on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
2 million plus followers, can't sell 32 shirts. Like, from what you saw of that, like, where's the disconnect there? How do you have 2 million people and you can't convince them of the value of buying a shirt?
I love that you asked this. This is great. So it's the things that you and I talk about all the time. It's the emotional connection. It's the relationship that you have with your audience. Most people on Instagram don't have a relationship, right? They are broadcasting.
Right.
Look at my picture. I'm the influencer. Look at what I'm doing. But there's no real conversation back and forth to build any type of relationship, right? So it's mostly like, look at me, I'm a pedestal and I'm this beautiful person. And of course, you want to wear my face on your shirt. So, no, I don't, right? So there's no emotional connection between her and the audience. And
Wait a minute again. The shirt had her face on it.
I don't know what the shirt had.
Oh, I thought you
I
meant
was like, but it was
I was
her
like, oh,
brand.
that's a big factor. I was like, why the hell would anyone? Okay, all right, okay.
Well, maybe, maybe it's a boob shirt. I don't know. But it was her brand, right? So obviously it was her
Yeah.
brand because it was to promote her. And that actually tells you something about the strength of your brand, right? If someone will wear your shirt, I think that's a pretty strong brand out there.
Right.
And it depends, right? Depends on what they wear your shirt for. So if I wear it to dye my hair, not a strong brand.
Right, right.
If I wear it out and about and I'm kind of like very proud of it, then maybe a strong brand. So that's one thing. But the other one is you can buy followers. So who knows? She might have bought followers and then started all these, hey, you follow me, I'll follow you, and kind of like accumulated numbers, vanity numbers,
Yeah.
to show that she has all that and more. And then there's no relationship between the followers that she bought and what she's really, what she really is. And a lot of people have that. When you're looking at like affiliate marketing, a lot of people are like, well, how big is your list? 50,000 people. Great, mail for me. So they mail out and nobody takes action. Why? Because these 50,000 people don't care about you. I've seen so many internet marketers with big lists that don't make any money because they burned their list with offers, with, promotions. The list doesn't care anymore. So now we started talking about, well, is it a list or a list of buyers? Well, if they spent only $1, then they're a list of buyers. Then I still don't think that valuable. I think click-throughs, right? Click-throughs is value because that shows that you took an action, you clicked and you go somewhere. I think comments means something. I think showing up, replies, that's the biggie, right? So if someone actually takes the time to reply to you, that's a relationship between you and them. So if you're looking at, I need 10 or 20 people to pay me $500 or $1,000 a month, right? Do I have relationships with 10 to 15 people? And if I do, where are they, right? And can I really help them? And so the step one is not like, what can I sell them and how can I do this? Step one is like, hey, where are you stuck? If I could solve this for you, would you be interested?
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
So we don't need to go, right, especially right now in these times of crisis and everybody's like going live and they're like, hey, how do I make money online? Okay, well, you need a funnel and you need a website and you need a membership site.
Right.
You don't.
Well, and that's like what I see right now in my daily Facebook consumption is I see a fair amount of my colleagues who are now putting out these like, here's how you learn to do online sessions programs, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm sure that there's some value to that. I'm like, but what if the people they're teaching it to don't have their basic business infrastructure in place first?
Right.
Like if you go, okay, I know how to do an online session, but I have no client acquisition and I have no like scheduling organization and I have because they used to do everything maybe in an office where people would just come in and deal with them face to face. And it's like, okay, so just because you now know how to have a meeting on Zoom doesn't mean you actually know how to really move your business online to be more of an online business. And how do you do, intake forms. You can't, you can't hand someone a form and say, please fill this out anymore. It needs to be digital. And what's your exact back and forth for that? And
Right.
there's a lot of other stuff there. I don't think it's as simple as just saying, here's how you do sessions on Zoom. Right?
Right, right. Yeah, and so the beauty of online is that everything is already online. So if you're thinking like, hey, I need an intake form, you go to this, secret website, google.com, and you put, how do I use intake forms? And then what do you know? It will give you some options. So the value in actually having an advisor is that you don't have to go through all these options and figure out for yourself which one actually works. So actually having someone like Paul who has been running his business online tell you like, hey, Google Drive has a form, you can use that, and here's how you do it. That saves you hours of going through all the links in Google search and trying to figure out, will this work for my industry? So there's a lot of value in actually paying someone who has been doing this forever to kind of save you all this learning curve and say, use this, and this, put them together, ta-da, you're done. But you do need to know, I think, like, what is the outcome that you want, right? So like, I want people to be able to come to somewhere and book calls with me. And then after they book calls with me, I want them to fill up this form, and I want the form to be sent to me, and I want to get a notification that I received the form, and I want them to get a notification. And then after I said that the form is okay, I wanted to send it to a payment checkout. Like, you need to know in general what's happening, and then you can talk to someone like me or Paul who has been doing this forever, and they can tell you, well, then you need Google Forms, you need PayPal, you might need JotForm, and you probably need Zapier, and all that will be connected. Yeah. That's
I have
it.
nothing to add. That was right. Yes.
So know what you want to achieve before you go there. Know that online is not like a billboard. You can actually do a lot of things on your website, but you need to know what you want to do with it. And then once you decide what you want to do, just realize you don't need a lot of people to get that done. You don't need hundreds of thousands of people. Because if you had hundreds of thousands of people, how are you going to build an emotional relationship connection with all of them? Think about that. How are you going to build this referral program? How are you going to make them feel like they're a part of a tribe? That's like the next level strategy things that you need to start thinking about. But you're at the beginning of just like, how do I make money online? So start with that. Start with the first 10 people. Make your first $1,000. Sell it for $500, $250, whatever it is. Remember that people don't need more information because we just shared the secret website that gives them all that information. Like that you laugh anyway. And after that, they don't need information, they need access. So let's figure out how can people get access to you? What is that access worth to them in value? And then how many of those you can help really, honestly, right? Because you can't help 50, 100 people at once. So how can you help them in a system that they feel like they're being helped so that they continue to pay you, right? So let's, before we finish, Paul, you just finished a 3-day summit. And a lot of people think like, ooh, summit, such a great thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have so many people and I'm going to sell them so many things and I'm going to be successful overnight. You did this by yourself very quickly, right? And so let's just kind of like break the myth around like, putting summits together and all the beauty of that, and people who are thinking of doing that, what should they have in mind before they go like, ooh, let me now manage 45 guests and in a weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, that was there's a lot there. So I think the first thing is you have to have a realistic ability to appraise your own workflow. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll tell you, that's always been something that I have struggled with. I've gotten better over the years at it, but I have learned to be honest with myself and know that usually if I say, yeah, I can do that in a day, it's always going to take me like 50% longer than what I said. So really it's a day and a half, right? Because there's going to be things that pop up that you didn't think about initially. And then it takes longer. So what I did is I because I've gotten better at it now, it's not 50% anymore. So what I did was when I came up with the idea for the conference, I was like, all right, people need this now. Like people are scared now. They're stressed now. I can't say, all right, next month I'm going to do a conference. Like they need it now.
Right.
And at the same time, I was like, but I can't build it in 2 days. So I sat and I thought, realistically, how fast could I build this thing? And I was like, okay, maybe if I go crazy and I work like 12 hours a day, I can build it in like a week.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, so then what you know about yourself is then you can't give yourself a week. You need to give yourself 9 days minimum. It's going to
Yeah.
be at least 2 full extra days. And sure, so that's what I did. And sure enough, I had it, I didn't have it 100% built at the end of 9 days even. I had it like 95% built. And so that was the first thing that I was like, good job, buddy. Because you have to be honest with yourself about that stuff. So that was the first thing I did really well was I had a realistic appraisal of my work production flow ability. And then from after that, I think you have to start. I'm a huge fan. I used to be an English teacher. And so I was always writing on a chalkboard, right? And so I still, when I do this stuff, I have those big newsprint sized, but they're like Post-its where they're sticky on the back. And I peel them and I'm looking right here because they're literally here. There's 1, 2, 3 for this project. And I stick them on the wall and I map everything out on the walls. I love to work by actually writing and visually representing what I'm doing. And so that's the next thing. I think mapping is huge. Like you need to be able to break whatever your project is into a representational system that makes sense for you. So maybe with you, it's just a legal pad and you're writing notes. Maybe you use mind mapping software where you whatever, fine. But you got to have some way of mapping it out and creating a plan.
Right.
And then once you do that and you start to see the component parts, then you can realistically appraise, like, what does it really take to make that happen? And so that's where I started going, okay, so if I want to do this and I want to do a wellness conference that's on mind, body, and spirit, then I need to reach out to people that fit those things. And I don't fit all those things, right? I started reaching out through my network, right? Now we get back to the stuff we always talk about.
Yeah.
And I started reaching out to people and going, hey, who do you know that does this? And I started attracting, the first thing that was easy was attracting other hypnotists. But then I started using them and for their network connections and saying, do you know a yoga instructor? Do you know a Tai Chi instructor? Do you know a massage therapist? Blah, 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 blah. And I built this whole group with 35, people that could do all the different things I wanted this wellness conference to do. I built an application for them. I wasn't just going to green light them automatically. They had to fill out an application. I built that in Google Forms. I started building their website while I was multitasking on this other stuff. I was working on the website. I had the Google form. I started making a master list of like when I would schedule things out. You just start bringing all these component parts together.
There's a lot that goes into it. There's a ton.
Yeah. So really that's the biggest takeaway. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much about it, but so the biggest thing is when you think you want to do something like this, what you have to understand is this is something, if you do a big project like that, and you totally know this because you do it the way it should be done, you should really have a team, right? You should have a website person and like a marketing person and a copywriter, and you should have like a team of people. And because I was doing this for free, I couldn't just pay a bunch of people to do it. And so what I was able to do was ask a couple of people for help on a couple of things, but mostly I just did it all. And I pulled 12-hour days for 7 days straight and then was able to reduce it to like 8-hour days for the remaining 2 days.
And it was stressful, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's hard. And it's not what I kept doing again, because I'm in the personal development world, was every time I started to get stressed, I had a process for taking myself through where I would go, no, it's not stressful. It's fun. You asked to do this. You chose to do this. Let it be fun. Don't let it get stressful. And I had a mechanism I created for that. Annie's here. Annie's one of my presenters actually that was in the conference with us. So I did that. And I think that's an important part too, is we get caught up in the drama, and sometimes we feel like it's a badge of honor to like kill yourself working so hard. And I was like, that's silly. Like, this is fun and it's going to help people, and it's an act of love to do this for other people. And we can do that and build, I can build a list still and maybe someday use that list for something else. I don't know. But the first thing was people just need help. Right. And so how do we get them the help they need? And that doesn't have to be stressful. Like I know that people in my industry are loving, compassionate people by nature. And they were going to be like, yeah, I'll help. And they did. Like, next thing you know, I had 35 people, you know?
So the first step one is know what you want to achieve. Step two, know what you can do on your own. And step three, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
People will help.
Yeah.
Right? Annie, do you want to jump on and say something? If so, turn on your video and we'll see you. So the point of this video, guys, is to... Oh, it's not Annie. So the point of this video, guys, is to help you realize that you can make money online. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to learn funnels right now, and email marketing and copywriting and video editing and social media creation and all that jazz. The only thing that you really need to focus on is, how do I help people? Who do I know that has a problem that I can help right now? And can I just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm doing this pilot program that I actually picked up from my friend Karen on LinkedIn. I'm doing this pilot program. It's going to be $5,000. You getting it for $500 because it's pilot, and you're going to help me remove the kinks and everything. And we're just going to get started. And that's all you do. You jump in and you help people in real time, and then they pay you for it. Yeah. So
Annie's with us now, but she's got to turn your mic on, Annie.
Oh, I will do that.
Or
but
you thought you have to?
Yeah, someone is saying on Twitter, I want to make money online while putting zero effort. Good luck.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah, let us know how it works for you. Hi, Annie. Let's see.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. You guys are fantastic. I love listening to you. Paul, I just want to say again, kudos for the conference. It was amazing what you did from start to finish, and I know it's not finished yet. And I was really, really happy to be a part of it. And even more so, I learned a lot, and I'm learning a lot. I thank you for this follow-up conversation, because it's really connecting the dots for me, and it's making me think, which is useful. So thank you.
Aw, that's so great. Thank you. This is a great example of, too, the wonderful things that come out of doing these things, because I didn't know Annie until someone connected her with me to be part of this conference. And so now I have a new relationship that I didn't have before. And I think that's another, and Annie's not the only one. Out of the 35 presenters, I would say maybe a dozen of them were people that I didn't even know. But the people I did know brought them and said, you should have this person. They're awesome about this. And next thing you know, I've got a dozen new people in my life who care about service and who want to be part of something positive and helpful. And so that's, again, where I'm like, I didn't make a penny off of this thing, but I got Annie Alexander in my life now, and that's pretty cool, So I couldn't be more pleased with the whole thing so far.
Which is really cool, because one of the things that people forget about, about life and humanity, and I think kind of like the corona is bringing it up again, the biggest value is the relationship that you have with people. And I love seeing how people are now starting to use Zoom to really connect and not just broadcast, which is hallelujah. We've only been talking about it for 10 years.
Right? It is. We're so broken record-ish about that, right? We're like, this is just what we were doing with Google Plus and Hangouts.
Yeah. And I'm like, and thank you, for kind of like, doop, the light bulb went up, and we can actually use technology to connect people rather than broadcast at people. So I love that this is happening. And what you did was help people and build new relationships, and you have now a new path to help all the people that you've already help them even further. So if you guys are watching it, hopefully you are with us on the same level of like, what we need in our life is trust, relationships, and helping people. And the way to do that with technology doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need millions of people to follow you and to live the life that you want. You only need 10, 20 people, depending on how much you charge, to do that. That's it. And then you add value, and then they'll tell you about other people, just like Paul met Annie. Hey, it's a movie. So tomorrow we're going to talk about challenges. What are we talking about tomorrow?
I don't know. I forgot. I got so into this, I forgot what we said we're going to talk about tomorrow.
What are we talking about?
We'll think of something. We always think of something. I think we honestly, I feel like we didn't fully, because for very good reasons, we didn't fully get into the sort of confronting of the BS around some of this online marketing stuff. So I almost feel like we should do part 2, but we'll always end up coming back to it eventually because there's just a lot of stuff that I think there's a lot of Kool-Aid that people are drinking out there that is not helping them. So
let's do that. Let's talk about the Kool-Aid. And guys, if you have any questions, comments, anything that you think that, hey, I heard I should do this online, but should I even do that online? Just comment below and we can answer that. So the more questions you bring up, unless it's something like, hey, I want to make money online with 0 effort, we can help you.
Or we could just spend one whole episode talking about Tiger King.
Tiger King? I don't know. What is Tiger King?
No, we're not going to do that.
What is Tiger King?
That would be a half hour of our life we could never get back.
Wait. What is Tiger King?
You know what Tiger? Oh my God! It's the new internet rage. It's this documentary on Netflix.
Dude,
we gotta talk about it later.
So I'm not gonna get into it because it's stupid. And then I saw an article that said all the things that they didn't talk about that really happened with Tiger King. So
now,
yeah. So we're not talking about Tiger King.
We're not talking about Tiger King. There's enough of that out there. We're gonna talk about things that help people move the needle forward. We'll stay focused on that.
Exactly. So maybe part 2. Join us tomorrow on Thursday. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right? I'm losing the time. Thursday, we are talking about leadership, how to bring out, because we need leaders right now. A lot of people want to stand up, and they don't know how to. And Eric Rogel is going to be a guest on I'm That Geek Show, and he's going to talk about how to discover the hero from within, the hero, the lover, the warrior, and how to do that in your job, with your employees, with your family, with your neighbors. I got to show you this. Check this out. Where is Paul Ramsey? He thought I'm not going to show you. Paul Ramsey is going for a tea break. So, and here is Paul Ramsey. So, join us on Thursday, but definitely join us tomorrow with part 2 of all the smoke and mirrors of online marketing. If you have any questions of how to make money online, what should you do? How should you do it? Do you need this or that or not? Hop on in. 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and Paul's smiley face. Thank you, Annie, for joining us today. That was fantastic meeting you. Hopefully you will come tomorrow with some questions if we can help you with anything. We'd love to. And until then, have a great, fantastic Tuesday.